Dear student, um, today we are going to see the input output organization. So this topic belongs to the digital computer, digital fundamental and computer organization. Okay, so today we are going to see the what is the input output organization. So before going to that, so what is the input devices and output devices? Input devices means so the input keyboard is a kind of input devices. The user can communicate to the computer. So that kind of device is called as a input devices, or the computer communicate with the outside environment. Okay, through the input output devices. So keyboard is a input device. So it get the input from the user and give to the CPU. Okay, mouse is a input device. Then the output device means the monitor is a output device. Okay, so it give the output to the CPU to the users or outside environment. So this is called as a input output devices. Simply it's called as a peripheral devices. Okay, here so the communication between the central system and the outside environment. Okay, then this is also called as a peripheral devices. Okay, so these devices are designed to read information into or out of the memory unit upon command from the CPU. And considered to be part of the computer system. Okay, so the out of so it read the information or out of the memory unit command from the CPU. Okay, so here there are three different type of peripheral. Input device means keyboard, mouse, etc. is the example for the input devices. So it get the read the information from outside and give to the computer. Output device means it get the CPU to the user. So outside world. Example printer, monitor. Input output peripherals means it both it act as a input as well as the output. In modern era, so the touch phones or smartphone is a kind of example for the touch screen. Okay. Next, the input here the interface means there is a interface between the computer and the peripheral devices, because the peripheral devices are totally different from the CPU. Okay, later we see what are the difference between the interface devices and the what are the difference between the CPU and the peripherals. Okay, there are two type of interface: CPU interface and input output interface. Okay, here so special hardware, that means already we saw that interface. So the special hardware need to connect between the input output peripheral and the CPU. Then only it will execute very easily, or it functioning very easily. So here the what are the difference between the peripheral device and the CPU? The peripheral devices are the electromechanical or electromagnetic device, but in the case of CPU the electronic devices. So that's why its conversation signal values may be required. So the electronic device working very fast compared to electromechanical or electromagnetic devices. For example, if you take the printer, if you give the command as a print, it will take few seconds. But in the case of if you give the command to the computer, it will execute immediately. This is the speed variation between the peripheral devices and the CPU. So the CPU and memory belongs to the electronic device, because its speed is a very high compared to peripheral devices, input output devices. So moreover, the data transfer rate is a peripheral device is slow. If you compare CPU and the peripheral, the CPU is the highest data transfer rate, but in the case of peripheral, it's a very slow. Then So the data code and format is in peripheral is different from the CPU and memory. CPU and memory consist of a bit, byte, word format, but in the case of data code and formats is a totally different. The operating mode of peripheral so are different from each other. So that's why we need the input output interfaces. The another one is the input output channel. Channel means it's a path between the peripheral devices and the CPU. So each channel consists of a one controller. So this controller coordinate all the components. Okay, so input output channel has a special hardware component that handle all the input output operations. So the input output channel consists of a special hardware component. So it handle all input output operation. So it consists of a processor also. The channel consists of a processor also. So it will process the input output commands. Okay, so channel processor simply but contains sufficient memory to handle input output tasks. So it handle the input output task. When input output transfer is complete or error is detected, the channel is control communicate with the CPU using an interrupt and inform the CPU about error or the task completion. Finally, each channel support one or more controller devices. So this controller consists of a list of command. Okay, various connected controller or devices are attached with this controller. Okay, so it handle once the operating system has prepared the list of input output command, it executes single input output in machine instruction to initiate the channel program. So dear student, today we discuss about the input output organization. If you have any kind of doubt, please kindly give the comment, or if you give the doubt in the form of words, so I will give the detailed explanation about your doubt. Thank you, student.